Well, it was so fun the first time, we thought we'd do it all over again. The Borderland Blitz, sponsored by Southwest University. I'm Adrian Ochoa, joined by Rachel Phillips.
That intro gets me pumped up. I'm so ready.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's really awesome the way kudos to John McMahon.
Yeah, that's all
in
John.
Our promotions department. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for week 2 of the Borderland Blitz. Our game of the week takes us over to Eastwood High, an El Paso Las Cruces matchup. I love these games. Borderland bragging rights on the line as the Las Cruces Bulldogs came to town to take on those troopers.
We'll then head on over to El Paso's west side. The Coronado Thunderbirds were looking to go 2-0 as they played host to the Canutillo Eagles. And then later we'll go to the SAC where the Pebble Hill Spartans took on the Del Valle Conquistadores.
So here we go, a battle of I-10 high school edition. The Eastwood Troopers were looking to bounce back after a tough road trip to South Lake Carroll last week. Tonight was their home opener as they took on the Las Cruces Bulldogs, a team also in search of their first win of the season. It's tonight's game of the week. Love those graphics. To Trooper Stadium we go here, my old stomping grounds, as Eric had mentioned earlier.
Trooper clap.
Eastwood quarterback Evan Minjarez, pass to Evan Macias. It's the Evan to Evan connection there, and the Troopers gonna keep rolling here as Minjarez, the pass to Michael Caldera for the touchdown. And Minjarez, he was on it today with the quarterback keeper. This time he'll just take it in himself. And then, John Matthews, band director for Eastwood, good friend of mine. We graduated together, as a matter of fact. There he is, representing the Eastwood.
Going off.
The Eastwood marching band. Minjarez here, gonna drop the dime to Curtis Murillo. Nothing but green turf in front of him. Curtis Murillo, welcome to End Zone City. Yeah, the Troopers rolling all over the Bulldogs right here. Las Cruces, though, you know, they're hanging tough. Love the hat there, the little cutie kid right there.
The eyes.
The handoff here to David Varela. Taking down a troop in the process, and he'll take it to the house. But this was all Troopers, though. Las Cruces finally gets on the board here, and Eastwood gonna answer right back. They're not taking any chances here at the handoff to Max Mancia, and he'll take it in for the touchdown. We've got a couple more highlights to go here. Las Cruces. There it is. There's the touchdown. They want to shortchange Max. They're not showing his touchdown here. But again, Las Cruces still playing to the final whistle here as Matt Lashley gonna pass it to Jacob Maese. He'll get the touchdown there as Eastwood, though, wins it big by a final score. We saw it earlier, 63-35. The final. Troopers, you know, they had that South Lake Carroll. They got whomped by South Lake Carroll, and here they took it out on the Dogs this week. Let's hear from those victorious Troopers.
Well, you know, we just knew coming off of last week's game, we knew how good we were. You know, we played South Lake, you know, we saw a lot of good stuff on film from our guys, and we knew that if we executed at our capability, that, you know, you got what you got tonight. So we just want to continue that. We want to stay sharp, and obviously next week's a big one with Pebble Hills.
We just got a chip on our shoulder. You know, all the teams are after, so man, we're just hungry for that win. So, yeah.
So what are you going to do next week to bring in a win?
We're gonna work. We're gonna work. Yes, sir.
Yeah, next week, as they mentioned, Pebble Hills, Eastwood. That game's a 4 o'clock game over at the SAC, so that's going to be a really good one.
Yeah.
And can I just say, Rachel's rally's 2-0. You were at Riverside last week. You were at Eastwood this week, and both those teams won.
I didn't even put that together. So that means on Monday when I put out the vote, you want me at your game because
I would think so, yeah.
The record stands, folks. Things are off to a great start for the Coronado Thunderbirds and their new head coach Mike Price, starting the season 1-0. Tonight, though, they played host to the Canutillo Eagles, a very good team, especially with running back LJ Martin. The Eagles looking to rebound after last week's loss to Pebble Hills. And look, while there was a lot of action on the field, got to hand it to the student section. Coronado's American theme tonight, getting it going for us.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody really knew why they were American themed, but hey, why not, right? Their team was down 36-7 at the half, and they needed to keep their spirits high. This guy may be the happiest of all people I've ever seen. Coronado with possession first in the third, and QB Owen Leveski to our Sweet Player of the Week winner in Blake Randag, but they wouldn't be able to make anything happen on that drive, so we thought, you know, we'd give
Blitzy's getting thrown
yeah, we thought we'd give the Thunderbird, you know, Blitzy to kind of console him after that drive ending up so poorly. Canutillo, though, LJ Martin just proving why he is a Power 5 commit in Stanford, bumping off a couple guys to move the chains then, and then again on this play, this time down the other touchline, breaking through numerous tackles to nearly break in for the TD. Eagles set up perfectly to put some points on. Rene Herta with the ball, but he fumbles it right in front of the touch after the impact. So what was a big scoring first half turned into a low scoring second. The Eagles actually held to 0 in the second, still getting the win though, 36-20. And I mean, really, everyone at the game won because Blitzy in the crowd, folks. Come on.
Blitzy's crowd surfing, but yeah, Canyon, good win for them after a good bounce back, 36-20. Yeah. But Blitzy again, wow, he's a hit.
Took the town, yeah.
Well, the afternoon game over at the SAC today was a good one. Del Valle taking on Pebble Hills. Both teams coming into the matchup 1-0. So who would make it 2-0? We're going to go ahead and go to the SAC here in the first half. Pebble Hills quarterback Gael Ochoa. No relation, though, although I would like to be related to him. Why not? With the quarterback keeper here, and he'll take it into the house. Touchdown, Pebble Hills. Can't handle the snap, though, on the extra point attempt. So let's go for 2 then.
Nifty.
That's thinking on your feet there. 2-point conversion, good. That was Marquitotis' pass to Robert Deal. Pebble Hills, Gael Ochoa, gonna find Jalil Bost right here.
Adrian, I think you should claim him as somehow a relation. Yeah, he's doing too much out there not to be a relation.
Fourth cousin, why not?
Yeah.
We get a nice look at the trumpet there. Del Valle gets on the board, though here Jesse Ramos, the pass to Eli Molina. Nice catch there in the end zone. But Pebble Hills still rolling here. Gael Ochoa gonna drop it to Bost again. Touchdown, Pebble Hills. Again, the Spartans improved to 2-0 on the season. When they win big, 50-13. Of course, that sets up the matchup next week against the Eastwood Troopers as district play in 1-6A will begin next week.
We'll bring it back to West El Paso over at Franklin High School where the Cougars were taking on the Andrews Eagles. Both teams looking for their first win of the season. And you know, the student section was rocking at Coronado, but even more so at Franklin. So much so, I missed the first touchdown, a 6-yard run from QB Shea Smith. I was too pumped with the student section. I know, but I mean, look at them. They're having fun with Blitzy. Andrews looking to respond and risking it on 4th down, but Bo Sparks comes up with the interception. He sets up this play. QB Shea Smith with a 44-yard run for a TD, but it's called back flag on the play. But no worries though, because very next play he lofts it up a whole 49 yards for Patrick Powers. Not only does he have a dang cool name, but the skills to follow Patrick Powers does. Franklin getting it done in a shutout, 42-0. Blitzy, all about it up there, my guy.
That's a way to power through.
Yeah, I like it, the pun.
Well, let's go to New Mexico here. Over in Albuquerque, the #1 team in the state, Centennial, 2-0, was looking to remain perfect on the season. They paid a visit to La Cueva tonight. Quarterback Aiden Armenta hits Cruz, mark him with the big play there. Then on the same drive, Armenta finds Miu Robinson for the touchdown pass. It's 7-0 La Cueva. Centennial's Micah Gutierrez gonna break loose for the touchdown here. Gonna take it to the house to tie up the game at 7 apiece, but La Cueva gonna come back. Armenta gonna connect with Ian Sanchez on a big play right here. Gets taken down, then later Armenta finds Sanchez again. This time it's gonna be good for 6. Right in the red basket in the end zone. Centennial unfortunately suffers their first loss of the season. Again, remember, they were the #1 ranked team headed into this game as the La Cueva Bears, though, get the win 28-21, the final. Another team that was in New Mexico today were the Eastlake Falcons. They were taking on the Rio Rancho Rams. Unfortunately, the Falcons suffered their first loss of the season as they fell to Rio Rancho today. At the final score coming up for you, 13-7 was the final as the Rio Rancho Rams get the win over the Eastlake Falcons today. So, setting up
happening.
Plenty more to come here on the Borderland Blitz. After the break, we're going to have highlights from El Dorado's game against Chapin, and then we'll head to Riverside, where the Rangers were looking to go 2-0 as they took on the Burgess Mustangs. Keep it here.
Now's the time to get your ride just the way you want it. At Jay's Tire Shop, we have the right tires, wheels, and transformation kits to get you where you're going in style. Fall in love with your ride again. Come to Jay's Tire Shop, now at our new location right across from Home Depot at 11405 Rojas.
This year at Peter Piper Pizza, she gets everything she wants for her birthday. Pizza. Friends. Games. And best of all, you. Our party family package has everything you need for an unforgettable celebration. Peter Piper Pizza. Pizza made fresh, families made happy.
Now's the time to get your ride just the way you want it. At Jay's Tire Shop, we have the right tires, wheels, and transformation kits to get you where you're going in style. Fall in love with your ride again. Come to Jay's Tire Shop, now at our new location right across from Home Depot at 11405 Rojas.
Here at ABC7, we know how busy life can be.
Which is why we work hard while you're still sleeping.
To prepare up-to-date news,
Weather and traffic
On the 7s.
to help start your day.
The right way.
Hi, I'm Dylan McKim. This Sunday on ABC7 Extra, the city and the county join the show to talk about the migrant situation in El Paso.
ABC7 Extra, Sunday nights at 10:35, only on ABC7, where news comes first.
Who knew that halftime show at a game would be performed by Coldplay? You could play Coldplay songs now. That's pretty cool. That was the Bel Air marching band right there during their halftime show with Coldplay. Welcome back to the Borderland Blitz, sponsored by Southwest University. We're going to go ahead and bring back our third member of the crew, Jason McNabb. He was out of a couple of great games tonight, beginning with El Dorado taking on Chapin over at the SAC. What's going on, Jason?
Thank you, Adrian. It's so good to be back here for the second week of Blitz. Now, this game appeared to be dominated by El Dorado in the first quarter, but the Huskies fought hard to make a statement right before halftime. El Dorado quarterback Quincy Estrada throws a brutal pick to Chapin corner Joshua Israel, but Chapin fails to capitalize on this turnover, choking up this punt to El Dorado, setting up first and goal for the Aztecs. Luckily for Chapin, El Dorado does the exact same thing and gets their field goal blocked, giving the ball right back to Chapin. On your screen right now, this is still the punt. Here is that, let's see here. There we go, there's your block kick. This gives the ball right back to Chapin. Now, Chapin quarterback Aiden Quinn quickly drives his offense down the field, winding up this beautiful touchdown throw to wide receiver Savion Jordan, putting Chapin up 9-7 right before halftime. Now, final score, El Dorado won 20-10.
2-0 for the Aztecs.
Yes, now at Clint Ysleta, both these teams are looking to get their first W tonight, and Clint decided to attack by pounding that rock with running back Zachary Delgado, getting some good runs in here. Now, wait for it. Oh, here's another run right here. Yep, this is Delgado again. Now, on the next play for the Lions, disaster almost strikes, and Bustamante fumbles this ball, but luckily for the Lions, he falls right back on it. And this leads to a little trick play here with Kilian Delgado, the wide receiver, throwing a touchdown to Zachary Delgado. Ysleta did strike back, though, with quarterback Evan Martinez throwing a touchdown to Daniel Martinez with 4 minutes left in the second quarter, but we're still down 6-21 right before halftime. Final score 21-14, with Clint getting their first win of the season.
Big win for Clint tonight. Thank you very much, Jason. Appreciate it. We're going to be checking in with Jason coming up for those Blitz picks. Remember,
And we have entries today, guys. I just
do.
checked. Oh, my.
I thought you left because you didn't want to hear any more Coldplay, but
No, I was sad. I recorded that. I was sad I missed it.
what you're looking at there was, though, Montwood was on the road tonight taking on San Angelo Central. Montwood comes out on the losing end. If we could take that graphic for you, just so I could read the final score there. There you see 52-49, a close one for the Rams, but they fall short in this one, 52-49 to those Bobcats from San Angelo Central. Well, we'll next head to Northeast El Paso, where the Parkland Matadors and the Austin Panthers both teams looking to bounce back after losing their season openers last week, where it was Panthers versus Matadors at Parkland High. Ole, as they would say. Parkland quarterback Eric Ortiz passed to Fabian Cervantes. No good there. So we're going to set up here for a field goal.
They called it.
They called the touchdown.
Yeah.
There it is. It was
Just
a touchdown.
good. I think
A
it
little
was confusion.
controversy, though, on this one. As there you see, Parkland is trailing by 1 point. So here's the field goal to give them the lead. And it is good.
By inches.
The game, that would prove to be the game winner there as the Matadors win it. A low-scoring affair over at Parkland, but a win's a win there, 9-7.
Yeah, and the first for Coach Lane McWhirter as he takes over the helm at Parkland. So a big win for them. I'm sure something they're stoked about. But let's head to Tom Work Stadium now. Riverside hosting Burgess. The Rangers looking for their second straight win of the season. Quarterback with the handoff to Adrian Estrada with a great run, dodging several players and getting to the 50-yard line. Later in the drive, Estrada once again up the middle for the opening score of the game. And check this out. Quarterback Adrian Munoz looking for someone, then tucks it in and will take it all the way for almost 80 yards to take a 14-0 lead.
80, number
that's
2.
Yeah, that's actually Angel Munoz there, sorry.
Yeah.
Second quarter, Burgess though fighting back. Andrew Rutledge finds Brooklyn Myers in the end zone. Sunset hard, you want to look at it, but I mean, how could you not look at that touchdown as well? In the end, Riverside with a big 54-13 win. They're now 2-0 to start the season.
Congrats to those Rangers. Well, one of the best stadiums in the city, El Paso High School. The Tigers taking on the Knights from Hanks. Both teams entered the game 1-0. I met some friends over there. This is Christian and Diego. They're rooting for the Tigers. First drive for the Tigers, and they're going to find paid right here. Quarterback Gary Charez with the keeper up the middle, and he'll get the house call. El Paso goes up 7-0. Still in the first. El Paso with the ball here. Gary gonna have some trouble here. He can't find anyone, so he's gonna try to make something happen, but Emmanuel Jaquez will find him instead.
Big play.
For the sack there. Nice defensive play by the Knights. On their next drive, though, in the second quarter, some hard-nosed running by El Paso's Lorenzo Johnson, bulldozing his way down, dragging a few players with them, get out of his way, gets taken down shy of the 10-yard line. That will lead to a field goal. El Paso up 10-0. But the Knights on the move right here. Quarterback Marcus Porras drops the dime to Jude Blanco. And hey, Jude, you got 6. Hanks finally on the board. And it's Marcus's uncle right here. I saw him. He was standing right next to me where I was shooting this game. Yeah, he was happy for his nephew there, supporting his nephew. Unfortunately, though, Hanks would come out on the losing end of this one. A good game, though. El Paso gets the win over Hanks, 39-33, the final. Well, you see it right there. You know what's up next, Rachel. You were out this way.
I did it. Yeah, it was fun as well. We talk about whether cheerleaders are going to get involved and so on. They love this. They're pumped for this. It's a great old time.
We call it the Blitz OG. It's an original here for the War of the Week. We've been doing it for years. Ever since I was in high school, it's the War of the Week.
I'm stoked that as a newbie, I get to be part of an OG trend. That's pretty cool for me.
But yeah, this one featured the Bel Air Highlanders taking on the Socorro Bulldogs for this week's War of the Week.
War of the Week. We've got Socorro versus Bel Air. Are you guys ready? Yes. All right, 3, 2, 1. Let's see who's got it. Oh, it is tight to begin with. The shoes are being dug in. Bel Air looking the likely of the two. Got people falling over here. And Bel Air has won it. Bel Air has won it. Guys, we need a victory cheer here. Let's go. Let's go, Big Red. Let's go. Let's go, Big Red. Let's go. Bel Air coming out on top in this week's War of the Week. In Socorro's defense, Bel Air had some guys on the team. I'm not saying, guys are stronger than girls. I'm just saying, they had some guys on the team.
Big Red feeling good. 2-0 for the football team, and then they win the War of the Week.
Which, what do you think is more important, winning War of the Week or going 2-0 to start the season? I'm going with War of the Week.
Let's go with War of the Week. Yeah, you got to win the War of the Week just to add that added icing on the cake, so to speak. Plenty more to come here on the Borderland Blitz. As you see right here, we're going to check in with Jefferson Silver Foxes. They were looking to go 2-0 as they took on Irvin today. And the other game we'll get to is Bowie. No, they're celebrating their 100th anniversary. We'll head to La Bowie as they hosted the Horizon Scorpions. That's coming up after the break.
Hey, El Paso, your future is calling. It's time to imagine what's possible and dream big. We are ready to create a new path forward, helping you reach your goals and potential. Your passion is our purpose. Let's rise together.
At the Hospitals of Providence East Campus, we are answering the call to care for our rapidly growing community with the completion of a $20 million expansion plan, investing in East El Paso for generations to come. Learn more at thehospitalsofprovidence.com/East Campus.
This isn't your typical runaway bride scene. It's a Nissan sales event ad. Now that's something I can commit to.
His RAV4 doesn't even have as many standard safety features as this Rogue.
Get low APR financing plus no payments for 90 days on Rogue.
Love may be forever, but these offers are not.
At
At the Hospitals of Providence East Campus, we are answering the call to care for a rapidly growing community with the completion of a $20 million expansion plan, investing in East El Paso for generations to come. Learn more at thehospitalsofprovidence.com/East Campus.
Hey, El Paso, your future is calling. It's time to imagine what's possible and dream big. We are ready to create a new path forward, helping you reach your goals and potential. Your passion is our purpose. Let's rise together.
Shout out to the Delvia cheerleaders. Awesome stuff. Thanks for doing that for us. Well, the Jefferson Silver Foxes were looking to keep the momentum going. A close win last week against Horizon. Could they make it 2-0 as they paid a visit to Irvin High School tonight? The Rockets, again, looking to rebound after losing to Bel Air last week. Here is Jefferson on the move. This is Roman Gomez. Some nice nifty moves. Going to take it to the outside and sneak right on in. There he goes. Jefferson on top here. Then later, up 11-0 at this point, and somebody's watching on the iPad.
Maybe they want to get some submissions in for Blitz picks.
Here we go. Then the handoff here to Miguel Rubio. And run, Rubio, run. Turn it on the Jets. No one's going to catch him. He'll tack on 6 more for the Silver Foxes as Jefferson improves to 2-0. They take down Irvin by a final score of 31-14.
Well, the Bowie Bears hosting the Horizon Scorpions. Which team would get their first win of the season? Late second quarter, Horizon down 6. Go for it on the 4th down. Robert Rodriguez dodging a few, gets hits for the QB keeper there. And that ends, but gets to move the chains just before the half. Another 4th down. Rodriguez looking for his man in the end zone, but falls incomplete. Second half, Bowie with the ball, handoff to Abraham Carrasco with a big run to get it inside the 10-yard line. Gets taken down, just inside. A few plays later, Bowie with the pass to the end zone. Will it come up good this time? The grab for the touchdown to put the Bears up by 12. Where's the Bear mascot when you need it? I'm sure he was dancing a bunch. In the end, the Bowie Bears defeat Horizon 31-20, and they're happy about it.
Very happy, as you know, Bowie celebrating their 100th anniversary. This was the game that they were going to do that celebration, and kudos, fans going home happy. Bowie getting another win there. Well, Battle of the Eagles here. Pecos paid a visit to San Rosario today. There you see Pecos getting the win in a shutout, 12-0. Cathedral was over in Mountain View taking on the Lobos, and it was the Lobos coming out on top of the Fighting Irish, 35-14. And then over in Tornillo, they welcomed the Fabens Wildcats, but it's the Wildcats coming back home to Fabens with a very happy campers there, 42-0 the final in there. And the Anthony Wildcats, 2-0 now are those Wildcats as they win over in Hot Springs, 42-6 the final. Congratulations to Coach Salis with Anthony. And there you see Alamogordo winners over Gadsden, 54-12 the final in that one. And then finally here, Santa Teresa and Lovington. It's the Desert Warriors getting their first win of the season as they take down the Wildcats of Lovington, 52-39 the final.
And a lot of big scores we just went through, but I think the big part of tonight is we have photos for Blitz picks.
$50 gift card on the line.
Yeah, and actually 2 on the line because we didn't have any submissions last week. We decided to give you 2 this week. And we brought in our social media website expert, whatever you want to call him, Jason McNabb, to scroll through the photos for us. Jason, have you got some winners? You want to show us your best options?
Yes, we do. Now, my first winner is an action shot right here. This was taken by Ray Navarro from Bel Air and Socorro. This, in my opinion, if we had a first place, this would be first place, but we do have 2 winners. And I wanted to show you this one as well. Let me go back here. This, we've got a lot of pictures this week, but this one stood out to me the most right here. This beautiful sunset submitted by Fierro from the Riverside versus the Burgess game. Thank you for submitting this picture, Erica. So you and Ray Navarro both win $50 Visa gift cards this week. Thank you for submitting your photos. Make sure to do it for next week as well. Now back to you guys.
Yeah, the real winner in all of that, obviously, those people getting the $50 gift cards, us getting to see all those photos, and Blitzy here on a Friday night, living live. Look at him, he got a lay.
He's got the lay there.
Yeah.
That was at the Coronado game,
Yeah,
right?
the Franklin game, yeah.
Okay.
The Franklin student section really, they found a liking to Blitzy. We did lose his football But we got a lay instead. So, I mean, I think, he's happy. He sees enough
Is that
football.
a mystery we need to solve? Who stole the football?
Yes, if you have found Blitzy's football, I tell you, it's not a normal size football. It's a tiny one that, attaches to the wrist. If you find it, give us a shout, DM me, whatever. We'll reunite Blitzy with his football. But at least for now, he's got a lay, and we'll see what else he can get throughout the weeks.
Awesome stuff there. Well, we'll have plenty more to come after the break. We're going to recap some of Thursday night's game and then take a look back at our Sweet Play of the Week. That's coming up after the break.
When summer temperatures spike, so does your energy use. And the more energy you use, the higher your bill can grow. But you can control your costs with energy-wise efforts. Learn how to beat the heat without paying more at epelectric.com.
Don't wait until 2023 and enroll today at Southwest University. We offer more than 20 associate's and bachelor's degrees to start your dream career now. Enroll by September 23rd at Southwest University to become a professional in the nursing, sonography, business, or radiology fields. We offer flexible schedules and short terms. Why wait until next year when you can start at Southwest University now? For more information, visit us at southwestuniversity.edu. Last day to enroll is September 23rd. Southwest University makes you happen.
New Mexico deserves better than extremist politicians who take orders from party leaders instead of us. So I'm running for Congress to fix it. I was raised by a single mother, built a small business, and served on the Las Cruces City Council. My name is Gabe Vasquez, and to protect a woman's right to choose, lower costs for families, and give New Mexico what it deserves, I'll stand up to any party leader. That's why I approve this message.
No one likes paying more for energy, especially during hot summer months. But we're here to help you be energy-wise, with tips to control your costs and better manage your energy use. For more ways to beat the heat and higher costs, visit epelectric.com.
Let's go ahead and do a recap here from some of the games last night. We're over at the SAC, where it was the Socorro Bulldogs taking on the Bel Air Highlanders. Again, Highlanders looking to go 2-0. Socorro looking for their first win of the season.
Meanwhile, sunset.
Rachel, you shot this one.
Yeah.
Awesome sunset there.
So good.
There you see Bel Air's Noah Moreno. He's ready to shine himself. With the quarterback keeper to make it 7-0. The Bel Air cheerleaders loving it. Socorro trying to make something happen, but Ricky Herrera for Bel Air are going to force the fumble here. Bel Air recovers. They're in scoring position, and this time it's going to be Noah Moreno with the handoff to Zach Martinez. Going to run it in for the touchdown as Bel Air goes on to win this one to improve 2-0, 48-0.
Bulldog just down on his luck and hopes and everything.
Deflated.
Let's head over in Las Cruces. Rivalry week, Mayfield and Organ Mountain, 22 seconds of silence for Abe Romero of Organ Mountain, who remains in a coma at UMC in El Paso after being injured in a game last week. Obviously, everyone here, our thoughts and prayers going out to him. A huge show of support for number 22, Abe Romero. This game saw no score through the first two quarters of the third quarter. Organ Mountain opened up their offense. Fabian Lazoya, all 225 pounds of him, rumbles 60 yards through the Trojan defense. 2 plays later, Levi Goodman takes it in. It's 7-0 Organ Mountain. The Knights weren't through there yet. Logan Tarango will find Isaiah Maldonado in the back of the end zone from 25 yards out. Organ Mountain wins this one big, 28-0. First ever win for the Knights over the Trojans since 2017. Naturally, you'd have to imagine they were playing with heavy hearts and thinking about Abe every step of the way through that game.
And of course, as you mentioned, our prayers are with Romero as well. Well, our sweet play of the week, let's go ahead and take you back to it. Take you to the play that won our sweet play of the week. It went to Coronado's Blake Randick. T-Birds setting up for a field goal, as you're going to see. We're going to get to it right here.
Otherwise, Adrian and I are reenacting it, which I don't think you want.
Yeah, I don't know how we would reenact that one with that play there, but the ball gets blocked, but the quick thinking by Randag as he picks up the loose ball again, taking it for 6. We're seeing the presentation there. I guess we're having some problems with the play. We didn't see it, but we're seeing them eat the cupcakes.
Oh, and they were stoked about the cupcakes. They're actually even nice enough to give me one too, so thank you. If I'm out at yours for a sweet play of the week, I will never say no to cupcakes. Just putting that out there.
Let's go ahead and recap the scores from week 2. There you go. Here's the play. We had the video.
Yeah, we get it there. You need to see it again. Look at it. Blake Randag picking up where the ball was on the ground, and he just said he found the outside lane, knew he had it as soon as he picked up the ball. He thought they were going to block it. He told me that, because I was like, if I was holding a ball for a field goal, I'd probably zone out a little, but not him on it all the way.
They were going for 3. They ended up with 6. That's
not bad.
Good. Yeah. And there we saw the presentation there, and yeah, You can watch it right now at KVIA.com in its entirety. But yeah, the cupcakes are back, courtesy of Albertsons. And yeah, everyone has a good time with the cupcakes. So.
And there were a few in there tonight, which we saw highlights of that I'm thinking, yeah, they could be Sweet Play nominees. We'll release those on Sunday night.
Yeah.
Sunday 10:35, or Sunday, sorry, 10 p.m. Newscast, we'll have it all for you. Yeah.
Let's go ahead and recap the scores from Week 2 action. As you saw, Eastwood over Las Cruces 63-35. Pebble Hills winners over Del Valle 50-13. Jefferson gets the dub over Irvin 31-14. Parkland over Austin in a low-scoring affair in that one 9-7. El Paso winners over Hanks 39-33, and Franklin in a shutout over Andrews 42-0.
Canutillo getting the dub over Coronado for their first win of the season, 36-20. Clint beating Isleta, 21-14. Chapin getting up over El Dorado, 20-10. Riverside with another big win to start the season, 2-0 over Burgess, 59-13. Bowie over Horizon, 31-20. Rio Rancho getting the dub over Eastlake, 13-7. And then you had San Angelo Central 52 over Montwood 49. Picos over San Elizario 12-0. Mountain View getting the dub over Cathedral 35-14. Fabens in a shutout 42-0 over Tornillo. La Cueva over Centennial 28-21. Centennial's first loss of the season there. And Alamogordo over Gadsden 54-12.
Finally here, Balmoral gets the win over Van Horn 50-48. Anthony 2-0 now as they beat Hot Springs tonight 42-6. These games from Thursday, Bel-Air over Socorro, Oregon Mountain over Mayfield, and Odessa High taking down the America's Trailblazers 49-27.
Oh, I was going to say, before we take the graphics down, look how pretty they were. The green, big shout out to Eric Bowers for making them so beautiful. There you go, you get to see him again, and Jay, his son, for putting the scores in tonight. But look at that, I like the color scheme we got going on for the Borderland Blitz.
New colors this season for the Borderland Blitz. It all works out. Loving it, everything. And we'll be back next week for Week 3, district play.
Wash, rinse, repeat. We're back again.
We're back again when district play will begin for 1-6A. Again, the matchup to watch out for, Eastwood and Pebble Hills. Very interesting. Of course, we'll have those highlights for you. But for now, we'll say, cheers? Can we?
Yeah, well, I was going to say adieu. Say adieu. Farewell, cheers. Have a cracker of a night. All the rest of the things. I'll see you tomorrow night. Adrian will be back a few days. But thanks for joining us tonight on the Blitz.
Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for watching ABC 7